Alright guys, we're back with more Resident Evil 3 and we're straight into it here with the second Nemesis fight. And like I said before, I'm luring him into this specific room where Marvin's dead body is, or should I say was. It seems to be gone now, but as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm actually glitching him. So I'm going to run straight out of the room now, make him run straight back into the room, and what I'm doing is hugging that cupboard, so I'm that close to it. And what happens is Nemesis tries to run in and punch me, but he seems to get stuck on the cupboard. As you can see, he does tend to walk around like he just did then occasionally, so you just have to be on guard here. But for quite a number of the Nemesis fights, you can actually do this where you glitch him out and make him run into a seemingly invisible wall, which is what's happening here. I discovered this on one of my previous playthroughs when I just ran into this room. I was afraid of him and I just couldn't be bothered fighting him, and he chased me into this room, and this is exactly what happened. And I thought, wow, maybe if I try this on some of the future fights, will he get stuck on a corner somewhere or another cupboard or whatever? And he does. I've actually figured out some of the fights where you can do this on. I'm not sure if you can do it for every fight. Maybe you can, but what you're going to see in these walkthrough videos is what I've discovered. And I'm just collecting that gunpowder B there from that locker. Remember, we used the lockpick to open it. And Nemesis just dropped the Eagle Parts B. So now, I don't believe I actually combined the parts. I think I forgot about it, but I should have. Look, I just put it in my stash. Idiot. Absolute idiot. But, you know, you really should combine it immediately and start using it. Get rid of this shitty handgun you start off with. It's absolute... Look, it's okay, but... oh, it's just rubbish compared to the Eagle handgun. So once you get those two parts, combine them and start using that Eagle handgun immediately for fast firing and fast reloading. It is absolutely fantastic. And the other great thing about the Eagle handgun is it has a critical chance to inflict like a one-shot kill. You know, a lot of the times I've found myself shooting at zombies, and usually the first or second shot, bang, their head just explodes and they die immediately, which is awesome. And actually that was the second location where we used the lockpick in the game, right on that door there. On this dead mercenary, he has a file, so make sure you collect that and read it, so to speak. Merc's diary. Now, another thing which is new in Resident Evil 3 here. Oh, actually, there's some blue herbs here. My take on blue herbs are they're pretty much pointless, but I always like to just keep one or two in my stash, just in case I do get poisoned. I'll point out the enemies that can poison you, mostly spiders, and I think they're called they're called Drain Deimos or Brain Suckers. I don't know. There's two enemies. Oh look, I'll talk about this later. Don't worry about it for now. Just these little dogs here. Take care of them. They're pretty easy to defeat. Shoot them once, they'll slowly get back up, but if you can, run over to them and just keep doing this. And when you hear them screech, that means they're dead. For the most part though, with dogs, I tend to just run past them, but if I know I'm going to be doing a lot of running to and fro in a specific room that they're in, I will kill them, just so I don't have to deal with any of the bullshit of them lunging at me randomly and whatnot. Now back onto what I was going to say before, there's actually another new feature in Resident Evil 3 here, and that is the ability to aim at barrels or bombs, any sort of like propane tanks and so on, and you can blow them up and destroy any zombies or whatever enemies are nearby. Now there's a specific button to aim at explosive objects, and that is the R2 button. So if you see like a propane tank or gas tank, whatever, then you press the R2 button to aim at it, and then X to shoot, and it will blow it up. If you press the R1 button, then it's going to aim at a zombie, you know, a nearby zombie. So that's a really cool thing in this game. You can sort of lure zombies around an explosive barrel, for example, and then press the R2 button and Jill will aim at that barrel as opposed to the zombies. Shoot it and bang, it explodes. I believe you saw me do that in the previous video. I've got the power cable there. We'll need that for a puzzle later on. If you saw me just before, I collected it out of the bonnet of the car where the battery was charging. More dogs there, as you can see. I just ran past them. And there's the downtown map. So we're in downtown now, and we're about to get introduced to those Drain Deimos brain sucker enemies, whatever they're called. Here we go. And I've got the Eagle handgun now. Look how fast it fires, and all I do is aim and rapidly shoot. All I'm doing is just holding R1, aiming down, and just pressing X repeatedly. It is such a fast firing weapon, and oh, there you go, it just grabbed onto me. Fucking bullshit. These things can poison you, so be careful. But oh yeah, and on that dead body there's some gunpowder. Gunpowder A, don't forget about that. Now with those specific enemies, there's sort of two ways you can take care of them. Shotgun, close range, bang, they'll go down. Usually in one shot, but if they dare get back up, shoot them again and they're gone. But oh, another file here. Make sure you read that. I like to just take care of them using the Eagle handgun because it's so fast, and if you just keep pressing the X button repeatedly, there's a very, very high chance, I'm talking like a 90% chance, that you will dodge their attack because you're aiming and you're constantly pressing X, you know what I mean? It is that quick to fire that you will usually get a dodge / evade move on them, which is great. So that's what I like to do. And right here, make sure you use the lockpick. This is the third part of the game where we use the lockpick. Grab the fire hook, and we're going to use it over here on this little door to open it up, and we'll get a cutscene now.
What's that?
Calm down, lady. I'm no zombie. My name's Carlos, Corporal of Umbrella's Biohazard Countermeasure Force. What's your name?
Jill, did you just say you belong to Umbrella's army?
Yeah. We came all the way out here to save you civilians, but the mission went bad the minute we landed.
How did he find me?
Oh shit, so it's Nemesis once again. We have a live selection here. I'm going to choose to hide inside the kitchen, because if you do,
Over
Nemesis
here.
will be killed without you having to do anything, and you'll get his item. So watch this.
Are you crazy? You could have barbecued both of us!
Oh, I love Carlos. Some of the things he says are hilarious. So there you go. That's the third item I have now collected off Nemesis. It's a first aid box. You can carry up to 3 first aid sprays in it. But look at this. He's alive again. So you don't have to kill him here. If you kill him, he's not going to drop another item because we just killed him. You know what I mean? Jill did. She threw that lamp over towards the canisters leaking gas and it blew up, killing him. But like I said, I'm not backing away for any fight. The good thing here is though, you've got Carlos helping you out with his assault rifle, and it does quite a lot of damage against Nemesis. So what I tend to do is, I think I like just making Carlos the meat shield while I stand back and just fire at him with the Eagle handgun. He goes down pretty quick with the Eagle handgun. I think it's just because it's so fast to fire. I don't think it actually does any extra damage compared to the regular handgun. It's just the fact that it's that quick to fire. Nemesis obviously goes down quicker as a result. But anyway, here's another cutscene.
Wait, I have to ask you something.
I know. You want to ask me out? All the foxy ladies love my accent. It drives them crazy.
What? Keep dreaming. Tell me, Why did Umbrella send your team in?
We're here to rescue the civilians.
Don't lie to me. Umbrella is the reason why this whole mess began.
Look, we're just mercenaries, hired hands. Do you really think the Master would tell his dogs why they have to retrieve the stick he just threw? If you want answers, you should talk to someone else. I am not with Umbrella. Believe it or not, we're only here to rescue the civilians. If you can trust me, then help us. Think about it.
Think about it. Yeah, that's it, Carlos. We will. Don't you worry. So we've just taken care of Nemesis once again for the 3rd time. Oh, and look at this. In this save room, look at that item. Crank. I mentioned this in my Resident Evil 2 walkthrough videos. It isn't a Resident Evil game until you've got yourself a crank. And that is the first one out of 2 that we will find. That's a hex-shaped crank, and we will find a square-shaped crank a bit later on. That crank I've got now, the hex-shaped crank, we will need it to gain access to the gas station, but I don't think I'll be needing it immediately. We're about to head to Raccoon Press now. Now, it's interesting, where we just went was to the restaurant. Oh, and actually we also need that blue gem. You'll see in a minute why we need it. So if you go to Raccoon Press before you go to that restaurant where we just were, you will meet Nemesis and Carlos there. Alright? So that's what I mean. There's so many choices you can make in this game. It has a high replayability factor. Every playthrough that you do of this game has the potential to be different. You can change up your live selections, you can go to different areas at different times and so on and get different outcomes, and that will affect the story even in some instances. But for now, we're going to go through this door here and we're going to put the blue gem into this clock puzzle. Alright, so yeah, it seems it's not enough. We need to find one more gem, and we're going to find it in here, in Raccoon Press. There's a total of 3 files to collect here. There's the first one. Make sure you read that one, that photo. And you have to be careful about the other 2 files you find here, because they have to be picked up and read in the correct order. And I'll show you that once we get up to it. It's coming up pretty soon. Now actually, while we've got a bit of downtime here, I just want to continue talking about the ammo creation in this game. So in the last video I said, you know, you can create ammo, handgun ammo. Let's use the example of handgun ammo. So you combine gunpowder A together 3 times to get gunpowder AAA. Combine that with the reloading tool and you will get more handgun bullets than you would if you combined gunpowder A with the reloading tool separately 3 times. Now that's the case with gunpowder B and creating shotgun ammunition. And here we go, let me just focus on this for a moment. Kill this zombie, and the next file you need to pick up is the one on the desk right there. I believe it's another photo. Jeez, there's quite a few zombies here. Oh, and there you go, I just got a headshot. Did you hear that sound? That means you get a critical shot with the Eagle handgun whenever you hear that. So yeah, I just picked up photo C there, and now I'm reading this reporter's memo. So that's the correct order you have to pick those up in and read them. And there's also another gem here which we'll take and put in the clock puzzle, allowing us to go through the door. Now onto ammo creation once again. You can actually create more handgun bullets than you would get from using gunpowder AAA. Alright, and to do that you actually combine gunpowder B with gunpowder B, giving you gunpowder BB, and you combine that with gunpowder A, so you create gunpowder BBA. And if you combine that with the reloading tool, that will give you the most amount of handgun bullets. It will give you 60 handgun bullets. Now it's interesting because I've discovered this, and I did quite a bit of research online into how this works. If you create enough handgun ammunition, let's say you just combine gunpowder A on its own with the reloading tool, and you create 15 bullets. That's how many bullets you get when you do that. If you do that for the 4th time, alright, so you combine gunpowder A with the reloading tool for the 4th time, you won't get 15 bullets. You will get 17 bullets. So you actually gain, I know this is going to sound strange, but you gain experience, so to speak, when you create the same type of ammo over and over again, thus netting you more ammunition when you do it. So it's quite interesting in how that works. And actually, sorry, I just want to go back to what I did there. I just put that hex crank in and it broke, so we need to go and find a wrench now so we can continue to turn that crank and gain access to the gas station. Just be careful here, there'll be a few loose zombies floating around. Take care of them. I might even be lucky and get a critical headshot, we'll see. But yeah, so that's how sort of ammo creation works here. You gain experience when you create the same type of ammunition frequently, and that goes for creating shotgun ammunition as well. The more shotgun ammunition you create, the more experience you'll get with that, and then as a result, the more ammunition you'll get when you combine gunpowder B with the reloading tool, or gunpowder triple B, whatever. And there we go, I just shot that explosive barrel. Remember, to aim at explosive objects in the environment, you hold the R2 button as opposed to the R1 button. Now, in regards to gunpowder C, like I said before, if you combine that with the reloading tool, you'll get grenade launcher rounds, 10 to be exact. But I don't find myself combining gunpowder C with the reloading tool too often, and I'll talk about why later. For now, we've got a cutscene coming up.
You're one of the survivors from the rescue team, right? I just ran into your teammate, Carlos.
How did a girl like you manage to survive?
Hey, I'm no ordinary civvy. I'm a member of STARS.
Stars? You mean the RPD Special Force Team?
Hey, is someone wounded back there?
Yep, that's Lieutenant Mikhail, a badass.
Oh, this looks bad.
They're coming. Get ready! Fire! Fire! Stay together!
Calm down. You're safe now. Everything is gonna be okay.
Alright, so go through the door for another cutscene.
So Jill, did you decide to help us out? It looks like we're the only ones who survived. We should work together.
No, we can't trust her.
Why? But Sergeant, we need her help. Our unit's down to you, me, and Lieutenant Mikhail. That's it. And Mikhail's hurt bad. If we don't cooperate, we won't be walking away from this mission.
Fine. Then let's go over our plan. We're moving to the clock tower area, which is the designated landing zone for the extraction chopper. Once we get there and give the signal, the chopper will fly in and pull us out.
That's a lot of ground to cover. I don't think we can make it on foot.
The main problem we have is that the landing zone is cut off from here by the fire. So we have no choice but to use this cable car to navigate through it. Fortunately, we can also use it as a moving shield to get us through the worst areas.
That works for me. Good plan, sir.
Okay, people, let's get moving.
Jill, put this on.
Awesome, so Carlos just gave us a carry pouch there, so we can now carry extra items, which is good. And there is the location of the wrench, so I can now head back to the gas station and use it on that hex-shaped crank to open up the door. Now, what we're going to be doing from this point on is locating the fuse and the oil. They are the 2 remaining items. Oh. That's right, I keep forgetting about that. That zombie always barges through that door, and I got a critical headshot on him immediately. Fucking piece of shit. Yeah, so we've got 2 more items to locate in order to get that cable car moving. That is our immediate objective. And I already put the power cable in place. I don't know if you saw me do that before those cutscenes. I took that power cable out of the car earlier on in the video. So I put that in place. I don't have to worry about that now. But the other 2 items needed to get that cable car moving is 1, the fuse, and 2, the oil. We're going to get the oil here from the gas station, but this oil alone is not enough to get the cable car moving. We need to find oil additive. So we've got to find that as well.
Jill! Hey, the zombies are getting restless.
I know. I can hear them. What's going on?
I love this part. Watch Carlos.
Jill!
What's wrong?
They're coming! They must have sniffed us out. They know we're here.
Hey, calm down.
Any objections to my playing hero this time?
What are you doing? Carlos!
Yep, so Carlos went outside with the zombies. Let's have a look.
Eat this!
Carlos! No!
Relax. I'm not dead yet.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. That hero stuff is harder than it looks. Okay, I'm gonna scrounge up some equipment. There might not be any at our destination.
Okay, so let's head on back inside the gas station. We have a puzzle to solve. It's a pretty easy puzzle. Just go over here, and this is where the oil is located. Now how it works is, see how A, the letter, is highlighted? That means you need to get the light above it, the red light, on, and all the other lights, B, C, and D, the lights above them, off, like I just did then. So to do it, it's pretty simple. It's like that really old school game, that ancient game called Lights Out. But basically, if you press A, both the lights above A and B will turn on. If you press B, the lights above A, B, and C will turn on. If you press C, the lights above B, C, and D turn on. If you press D, the lights above C and D turn on. If they're already on, they turn off. You know what I mean? That's how this game works. But there you go, I've just done it. And now I will take the machine oil and we'll get a cutscene. There was nothing in that room either where the fire just ignited, so don't worry about it, just run for it. So yep, the gas station is destroyed. Let's get out of there. Now it's interesting, if you remember earlier on we had that live selection in the restaurant where Nemesis appeared and we had that choice to either run into the basement or hide inside the kitchen. I chose to hide inside the kitchen, and by doing that, Jill threw that lamp towards the gas cylinders, it blew up and killed him. If you choose to run into the basement for that choice, then instead of meeting Carlos at the gas station there, you will meet Nikolai. So it does affect the story in that regard. But here we are, we have to collect this item. I believe it's a bronze book. Yep, there it is. We need that in order to get a battery. So that's what we're doing now. We're trying to locate the battery because that's going to allow us to get into the substation area, which is where the fuse is. Remember, we need the fuse and the oil in order to get the cable car going. We have the oil at the moment, but if you take it to the cable car now as is, it says it's like, you know, it's not high grade enough or something for the cable car. That's why we also need to find the oil additive. And once we do, we mix it with the oil and we're good to go. So here we go. That's where you put the bronze book. And we now take that item, the bronze compass, back to where we got the bronze book, put it in place, and that will give us the battery. The battery, like I said, will allow us access to the substation, which is where the fuse is located. Basically, all the battery does is allows us to take, it just powers on a lift, that's all, which takes us into the substation. And we're going to have another live selection at the substation, and based on your choice for that live selection, it will determine whether or not you fight Nemesis. Oh great, fucking dogs. Absolutely fantastic. I just ignore them there, I never take care of them. So yeah, that's what we're doing now. Put this bronze compass in place, it'll turn around like so, and there's the battery. Let's take it and now head to the substation. And of course, I'm going to be making the choice where I have to take on Nemesis. I don't know why, I quite like this battle with Nemesis. It's nothing different, it's just, I don't know, I like the substation area, it's pretty cool. But anyway, while I'm doing all this sort of housework, house cleaning so to speak here in my inventory and stash, I'll just touch up again on ammo creation. I know I keep going back to it, but believe me guys, there is so much to fucking know about ammo creation in this game, it's ridiculous. Now, the reason why I don't combine gunpowder C with the reloading tool to get 10 grenade launcher rounds is because you find heaps and heaps of grenade launcher rounds throughout the game. So there is no need whatsoever to create those rounds. But I do create specific grenade launcher rounds. I'm talking acid rounds, flame rounds, and freeze rounds. Freeze rounds are by far the most important rounds you can create for the grenade launcher because they... Oh, look at that. That's bullshit. This is fucking terrible. Just use the shotgun here, get in close and take care of these. I'm just going to call them brain suckers. That's how I like to refer to them as. So yeah, freeze rounds are absolutely phenomenal for taking care of Nemesis, alright? They are the Nemesis killing rounds. You guys do not understand how powerful they are against him. So I pretty much save gunpowder C for creating freeze rounds. See, the thing is, you can actually create freeze rounds, acid rounds, and flame rounds from regular grenade launcher rounds. And you do that by combining, so say you combine gunpowder C with 6 grenade launcher rounds. You have to combine it with a minimum of 6 grenade launcher rounds. Forget about the reloading tool. If you combine gunpowder C with 6 grenade launcher rounds, keep in mind I'm talking regular grenade launcher rounds, then you will create 6 freeze rounds, which is awesome. And likewise, if you combine gunpowder A with 6 regular grenade launcher rounds, you will create 6 flame rounds. And if you combine gunpowder B with 6 regular grenade launcher rounds, you will create 6 acid rounds. Flame rounds are very good as well against Nemesis. Acid rounds are pretty good as well, but I don't really find myself using acid rounds too much in this game. There are a few instances where I do. Actually, how many instances? There's really only one instance in the whole game, actually, now that I think about it, where I do use acid rounds, and it's for taking care of the sub-boss called Gravedigger. I'll talk about that when we get up to him. And look, there's the Magnum, and we're about to get a live selection here. Here we go. So in order to fight Nemesis, we have to head to the emergency exit. Let's do that. Here we go, and he's got his rocket launcher. He means business. I hate how he delays. Yeah, he just got me there. That's fucked. I'm on danger. Wow, that was... I actually attempted this run a few times, guys. I died. I did this whole run in one sitting without saving the game. That was my goal in order to get the A rank here. And on a previous run, I actually got up to the final boss, which took like 2 hours and 20 minutes, and he killed me. And, you know, I didn't save the game, and I just sat there in extreme silence. I was so fucking angry. I punched the... I can't even express how annoyed I was, guys. It was disgraceful. But anyway, let's not focus on that negativity, shall we? Let's focus on the fight here with Nemesis. So, we've got him to use up all his rounds for the rocket launcher. So now we're just fighting him toe to toe. And I used the Magnum there to shoot him a fair bit. It's a very powerful weapon. You can actually create Magnum ammo. I'll talk about that later, but it's pointless. And you'll see why a bit later on in the walkthrough. But anyway, look at this. Awesome. The Eagle handgun. So good. So fast. And there you go. He drops the M37 Parts A, which is half of a shotgun in essence. Once we kill him another time, he'll drop the Parts B for that, and then we can create a really powerful shotgun. It's actually pretty fast to fire and reload as well. It's a great shotgun, but I don't really find myself using it too much. Anyway, we're back here in the substation, and this is where the fuse is located. I didn't really talk about that puzzle there. Well, it's not really a puzzle. It's just about setting the voltage to the correct levels in order to get those two doors open. And behind one of the doors was the fuse, and behind the other door was the Magnum. You saw me pick that up. Now, the Magnum can actually appear in the STARS office, in that locker in the police station, which is where we found the grenade launcher. So the Magnum and the grenade launcher can spawn in either place, either the STARS office or the substation. If you find the Magnum in the STARS office, then the grenade launcher will be at the substation. If the grenade launcher is in the STARS office, then the Magnum will be in the substation, which is what happened here for this playthrough. But look, guys, we've got the fuse now. All we need to do at this point is find the oil additive so I can mix it with the oil. And oh yeah, that's right, a zombie busted out of that door of that car just before, and there is some grenade launcher rounds there, regular grenade launcher rounds. Don't forget about collecting them. You need as much grenade launcher rounds as you can get, and you'll see why later on in the walkthrough. But yeah, guys, we've got the fuse. We're on our way to collect the oil additive. Once we find that, we are good to get the cable car moving. But for now, I will leave it here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.